originally thought about the rate tool as just a part of that final assignment. So when I originally was designing my Career Readiness Fellows project, I thought, okay, well, I'll definitely include a rate here. That makes sense, and I can sort of see, are they engaging diversity? Are they making that connection in this assignment?
I've been thinking of the tool as a thing that prompts some metacognitive work in the students at the end of an assignment or a unit. The way that we were going to use the rates was to let students select which competencies and get them sort of thinking about talking about the skills that they got out of their liberal arts degree.
When I use the rate tool in the capstone course, I actually set it up so that I don't see their responses, because what I want them to do is to do it for themselves.
I told them the first time that, we tend to focus on oral and written communication, but you're not limited to that. If you feel like this class has helped you in any of those competencies, you're free to use those.
I use the rate tool as a language assignment. So because in addition to the 2 community engagement projects, my students also need to work on some career preparation project. They need to write a resume in Chinese. They need to do a mock job interview in Chinese.
But as I got into it and revisiting the class overall and thinking about that scaffolding, I realized that rates along the way would be much more helpful to the students so that they had a resource to draw from when they got to the final assignment. And then I explicitly mentioned that as they get to the final project, revisit those rates. What have you been thinking about all semester? And I encourage them to think about engaging diversity all term so that they have, like I said, that sort of already thought out reflection that they can draw from and then try to apply.
And one of the neat things that I did was I let students who are not native speakers of English respond in any language they wanted. And I feel like the rate is a really great tool in how the questions are structured, that they're able to think of specific instances in the class.
So students also talked about how these competencies can be translated in their future global career.
I have them do a short assignment. They do a Flipgrid post, 1 minute or less. They do a short video that talks about what was their experience with rate. In many cases, students will report on their little videos that, it was really helpful for me when I got to that translate part. To translate my experience into some other context is almost always more of a challenge. And so students typically report that that part was hard for me to do, but it was something that I appreciated having to do.
I think one of the benefits of doing that early in the course is then students can think about the types of skills that they're going to want to talk about when they tell their, a prospective employer or a graduate school or whatever they want to do, what they did in their project and why it was valuable and how it prepared them to succeed in their next step.